welcome to grade 7 maths class of St. Peter's College, Colombo 4, Negombo branch. So today our lesson is unit 11 in your textbook, that is decimals. So let's start our lesson. Okay, what are decimals? So you all can say I have written a number here with a point. So that is what we call as a decimal point. So numbers written in this format are called as decimal numbers. So in this number, we consider the place values. If we consider the place values of these numbers, the first number after the decimal point, we call it as the first decimal place. We call this as the first decimal place. And this is the second decimal place. And this is the third decimal place. Okay, so in this part, the number which is left to the decimal point, this place value, we already know that. What is that? That is the ones place or units place. Ones place or units place. That is the ones place. And the second place value, that can be taken as the tens place of the number. Tens place. So the first decimal place can be taken as tenth place. First decimal place can be taken as the 10th place, while the second decimal place can be taken as the hundredth place. And the third decimal place can be taken as the thousandth place. So this is the way of giving the place values in a decimal number. This can be taken as the tens, hundreds, thousands. So we can represent 10 like this. That is 1 over 10. Since it is the first decimal place, if you are to write it as a fraction, we can denote it as 1 over 10. Same manner, hundreds place can be, that is the second decimal place, can be denoted as 1 over 100. Since you have two decimal places, we can denote it as 1 over 100. Always the numbers which are to the right side take smaller values. These are large values. So since it is decreasing, we have to write it as a fraction in the form of the power of 10. So if you are to represent thousands place, that means the third decimal place, we can denote it as 1 over 1000. Since you have three decimal places, you have to denote it as 1 over 1000. So let's move how we can represent. Now I have taken the same example. Now how to read a decimal? You can't read this as 25.368. We normally don't read a decimal like that. We have to read the numbers after the decimal point one by one. That means 25.368. That's a way of reading a decimal. So let's see how we can represent this decimal number in an abacus. So if we are to draw an abacus, then we can draw an abacus like this. So you all can see there are three decimal places. So to denote that, there should be three decimal places like this. And left to the decimal, you have two place values. So altogether there are 5. So we can denote it like this. Right. Since this is the ones place, okay, ones place or units place, ones place. And this is the tens place. So I can write it like this, tens place. And the first decimal place, as I told earlier, we can represent it as 1 over 10. Since it is the first decimal place, numbers are going to decrease. Therefore, we can denote it as 1 over 10. Second decimal place can be denoted as 1 over 100. Since it is the second decimal place, 2 zeros, that is 100. Okay. Third, it can be taken as 1 over 1000 because it is the third decimal place. So after that, you have to draw the numbers in the abacus. So 2 ones place, the digit is 5. So you all can represent like this. And in the tens place, that is 2. And in the first decimal place, there you have 3. And in the second decimal place, you have 6. And in the third decimal place, you have 8. So that is the way of representing a decimal in an abacus. What is you have to keep it in your mind? How to represent these place values which is after the decimal point. Decimal places should be represented like this as a fraction. 1 over 10, 1 over 100 and 1 over 1000. So let's move to the next part, that is how to write a proper fraction with a denominator which is a power of 10. What do you mean by powers of 10? Powers of 10 means, now when we take here, 10 means 10 times 1. 100, that is 10 times 10. Okay? 100 means we can express 10 as 10 times 1. 100 means 10 times 10. 1000 means we can express it as 10 into 10. So these are called as powers of 10. So these numbers 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 can be taken as powers of 10. Okay. So let's see how we can express these fractions. These fractions as a decimal number. These fractions are considered as powers of 10. The denominator value, you have powers of 10. So let's see how we can convert these decimals into a fraction. So in here, 1 over 10 can be expressed as 0.1. So in the previous abacus also I told you with the number, I explained if you have one decimal place, always it will be 1 over 10. You have denominator 1, denominator 10. That is 1 0, 1 decimal place. 1 0, 1 decimal place. Second, 1 over 100. You can see 2 zeros. How we can express it as a decimal? 0.01. 2 decimal places, you can express it as 0.01. 2 zeros, 2 decimal places. Third one, 1 over 1000. So here you can see 3 zeros are there. So we can write it in decimal form like this. You should, since you have 3 zeros, there should be 3 decimal places. Always you have to take the decimal places according to the number of zeros in the denominator. Number of zeros in the denominator 1 decimal, 2 zeros, 2 decimal places, 3 zeros, 3 decimal places. So you have to keep this in your mind, how to express a power of 10, a fraction with the denominator having a power of 10 in a decimal form. Okay, so let's do some calculations based on that. So I have taken some fractions here. Now you all can see here powers of 10 are taken as the denominator. 10, here also 10, 10, 10. So in the previous slide, we took that 1 over 10 as 0.1. 1 over 10 is taken as 0.1. You had 1 in the denominator, 1 place, so you have to take it as 0.1. Second example, there also you have 1 0, but now what is the number here? 2. It's not 1, it is 2. So you can write it in this decimal format as 0.2. 1 0, 1 decimal place. What about this third example? There you have 2 numbers in the numerator, that is 17 over 10. 1 0. So always what you should keep it in your mind, when you are dividing by 10, there will be only 1 decimal place in the answer. one decimal place in the answer. Now here you have two numbers. Though you have two numbers, you have to express with only one decimal place. With only one decimal place. Since it is divided by 10, you have 1 0. So you have to express it with only one decimal place. Fourth example. Here you have 23 over 10. It's like this, the third example, same as the third. Only 1 0. Therefore, only one decimal place should be in the final answer. That is 2.3. Right. Next, I have some example where the denominator having 100. That is the second power of 10. 10 times 10, 100. So there you have two zeros. There you have two zeros. If you have two zeros, you should know that there should be two decimal places. Two zeros, there should be two decimal places. You can express it as 0.01. Two decimal places should be there after the point. Same manner, here also two zeros, there should be two decimal places after the decimal point. 0.05. Next example, 87 divided by 100. Again, two zeros, and there should be two decimal places. Two decimal places should be there. That means you can express this number as 0.87. Two places. Next example, here you can see three numbers are there, but in the denominator you have only two zeros, which means you have to express with only two decimal places. Two decimal places. So when you are writing these numbers, two numbers will be after the point, and 3 should be taken as the whole number. So that's a way of expressing a fraction as a decimal. So what you have to keep it in your mind, if you are dividing by 100, since you have two zeros, always there will be two decimal places. Two decimal places in the final answer. Two decimal places in the final answer. Right, next, move to fractions having denominator 1000. Third power, that is 1000. There you have three zeros. If you have three zeros, there should be three decimal places. So we can express this as 0.001. Three decimal places, three zeros. Same way, next example, three zeros. Answer should be with three decimal places, that is 0.008. Next example, again you have three zeros, but here you can see two numbers are there already. Earlier you had only one number. How can we express this? The same way, you have already two values are there, so it will be 0.055. Three decimal places are there, three zeros are there. You had two numbers, so for the other decimal you have to take a 0. Next, same way, there you have three places in the number, and here three decimal, three zeros. Therefore, in the final answer there should be three zeros. So that means 0.234 is the final answer. 234 is the final answer. Three zeros, three decimal places. So if it is a number divided by 1000, since you have three zeros, always in the final answer there should be three decimal places. Right, now we are moving to fractions. Now earlier you had the denominator always powers of 10, 10, 100, 1000 likewise. So the division is easy. So you can easily express the fraction as a decimal. But when it comes to these types of fractions, now you can see the denominator values are different. It's not a power of 10. So when you consider these examples, you all can see 5, 4, 8. They are not powers of 10. So how can we express these types of fractions as a decimal? So when you have these types of fractions, in the previous lesson we had fractions. So I told you how to express fraction when you are given a fraction like this, how to make equivalent fractions. So from that theory, you have to convert this fraction or to convert this denominator 5 into a power of 10. Since it is not a power of 10, you have to convert this into a power of 10. Power of 10 means, powers of 10 means 10, 100, 1000. Likewise, you have to convert the denominators into these numbers. So, what is the easiest number that we can make out of these? 5 can be converted to 10 easily than going for 100 and 1000. So, how can we make 5 into 10? 5 times how much will give you 10? So, let's see. 5 can be easily converted into 10 by multiplying with number 2. So if you multiply by 2, you will have the denominator 10, which is a power of 10. So you know that when you are making equivalent fractions, always the numerator should also be multiplied. Both the numerator and denominator should be multiplied by the same number. So 2 times 2 you will have 4. Now it is easy. Now you have 4 over 10. So it is a power of 10. So you have 1 0. So you can express it as a decimal 0.4. It's very easy. 0.4. Right. Next, move to the second example. 3 over 4. So what is the easiest power of 10 that we can make from 4? 10. We can't make 10 from 4. But about 100? Yes, we can make 100. So how can we make 100 in the denominator? So we have to make an equivalent fraction. 3 over 4. So you have to select a number. What is the number that you are going to select? 4 times. You know that 4 times 25 will give you 100. So you have to multiply the numerator also by the same number, that is 25. So in the denominator now you will have 4 times 25 will give you 1000. So you know that, 100. So you know that 100 means a power of 10. That is the second power of 10. And 25 times 3, what is the answer? That is 75. So now it is easy for us to convert this fraction into a decimal. Since it is a power of 10 with 2 zeros, in the answer you should have 2 decimal places like this. 2 decimal places in the answer. Right, next example again, you have 1 over 8. So we can't make 10, the first power of 10 is 10, we can't make 10 from 8. And next, can we make 100 from 8? No, it's difficult. So we have to go for the next power of 10, that is 1000. So we have to select the number, how we can make 8 into 1000. How we can make 8 into 1000. So what's the number that you are going to multiply? So we can multiply by 125. So both the numerator and the denominator should be multiplied by the same number. When you multiply by 125, 8 times 125 will give you 1000 in the denominator, and in the numerator you will have 125. Since you have only 1 times 125 will have 125. So next, 3 zeros, therefore 3 decimal places should be there in the final answer. So we can express this as 0.125 is the final answer. 0.125 is the final answer with 3 decimal places. Right, 3 more examples are there. So how can we make an equivalent fraction for half? Right, it is easy for us to take this into 10. How can we make 10? You can multiply by 5. Both the numerator and the denominator should be multiplied. So you will have 5 over 10. How can we convert this into a decimal? 1 decimal place should be there in the final answer, that is 0.5. Next example, 50. How can we make 50 into a power of 10? We can't make, we can make it into 100. By which number we can multiply? We can multiply by 2, because we know 50 times 2 will give you 100. So you have to multiply this also by 2. So in the denominator you will have 100, 100, while in the numerator you will have 6. 6 over 100. 2 zeros in the denominator. So 2 decimal places should be there in the final answer. Last example. 250 is there in the denominator. So how can we make 250 into a power of 10? 10, 100 or 1000. It is easy for us to make 250 into 1000. So we have to select the number that we are going to multiply. 7 over 250. By which number we can multiply? We can multiply by 4. Because 250 times 4 will give you 1000. So you will have 1000 as the denominator. So 7 times 4 will give you 28. So 3 zeros are there in the denominator. Therefore, 3 decimal places should be there in the final answer. 3 decimal places should be there in the final answer. Right, so now we'll move to the next part, that is how to write a mixed number as a decimal number. Mixed number as a decimal number. So in here, we know that in a mixed number we have a whole number part and a fractional part. This is the whole number part and this is the fraction. So separate the two parts, whole number separately and fraction separately. So 2, and I'm going to separate that 3 over 10. Right. Keep 2 as it is, and now consider the fraction part. Now we already know how to convert a fraction into a decimal. How to convert a fraction into a decimal? We already know, we did it in the earlier step. Since you have 1 0, 1 decimal place, that is 0.3. Now what you have to do? This is addition. So you can add the decimal number to the whole number 2. So 2 plus 0.3 will give you 2.3 as the answer. So what we did? We have to separate the whole number and the fraction. Keep the whole number separately and convert this fraction. Now this fraction is already having a power of 10. So we don't want to make an equivalent in this stage. So since it is already having a power of 10, it is easy for us to write it as a decimal number and then finally added the two numbers and wrote it as a decimal number. Okay, let's move to the second example. Can also be done in the same manner. So separate out the two whole numbers and the fractional part. 5 plus 11 over 20. Now you all can see when you consider the fraction part, it is not having a power of 10 in the denominator. 20 is not a power of 10. So we have to make 20 into a power of 10. How can we make 20 into a power of 10? So it is easy for us to make 20 into 100. How can we make 100? 20 times 5 will give you 100. So we are going to make equivalent fractions at this place. If it is not a power of 10 like this, since it is a power of 10, it is easy for us. But if it is not a power of 10, you have to make it into a power of 10 by making equivalent fractions. So 11 times 5, you have 55. 20 times 5, you will have 100. Now you all can see it is a power of 10. So if you have 2 zeros, what you have to do? 2 decimal places will be there in the final answer. So here you have 5 plus 2 decimal places means 0.55. So what's our next step? We have to add the two numbers. That means 5.55 is the final answer. Decimal part here, you have to add the decimal part to the whole number, so you will have the final answer as 5.55. Okay, let's see how to write an improper fraction as a decimal. So in the previous session we converted a mixed number into decimal. Now you have an improper fraction. So always if you have an improper fraction, first of all you have to convert it into a mixed number. It is easy for us to convert a mixed number into a decimal. So what we have to do at first is to convert this improper fraction into a mixed number. So in the fractions lesson we did how to convert an improper fraction into a mixed number and mixed number into improper. So 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. So this is the improper form of this mixed form of this improper fraction. And let's see the next step. 3 1 over 8. So how to convert this into a decimal now? You have to, like in the previous part, you have to separate these two. Whole number taken out, fraction taken separately, and then you have to convert this fraction into a decimal. Fraction into a decimal. So when converting the fraction into a decimal, first of all you have to check this denominator. So once you check the denominator, you all can see it's not a power of 10. That means it's not having 10, 100 or 1000. So you have to make this denominator a power of 10. That means making an equivalent. So we can multiply this by 125. We know that 8 times 125 will give you 1000. You can't make 10, you can't make 100 from 8. So that's why we are going to multiply by 125 and make the denominator into 1000. Okay, so in the numerator you will have 125 plus, and here you have the whole number 3. So next step is, now it is easy. 3 zeros, therefore 3 decimal places should be there. That means 0.125. So finally, what you have to do, add the two parts, whole number, decimal, can be added and take the final answer as 3.125. So this is the final answer. So same way, we'll move to the second example. So first thing is to convert it into a mixed number. So 5 times 2 is 10. To make it into 12, you have to add 2. 5 times 2, 10. 10 plus 2 will give you 12. Right. We have converted into a mixed, and next step is same way. You have to convert the fraction part into a decimal. So let's start. After converting this, you have to separate the whole number. Take the whole number and the fraction separately. Whole number 2, fraction 2 over 5. Next step is, you have to check whether this number is having a power of 10 in the denominator. So it's not having a power of 10, so you have to make it into a power of 10. So it's easy for us to make 5 into 10. How can we make 5 into 10? Multiplying by 2. So numerator should also be multiplied by 2. 2 times 2, 4. 5 times 2, 10. Next step, 2 plus 1 0, therefore there should be only one decimal place, that is 0.4. Finally, you have to add the two numbers, whole number and the decimal. So you will have 2.4 in the final answer. So this is a way of converting an improper fraction into a decimal. First thing, to convert it into mixed, and then by making equivalent fractions as a power of 10 in the denominator, you can convert it into a decimal. Next part, that is the inverse of what we did here. Now we are given decimals. You are going to convert these decimals into fractions. Earlier you were given fractions and you converted into decimals. Now fractions are given for you to convert it into decimals. So what we are going to do is the inverse of what we did in the previous part. So here 0.8, one decimal place. So we know that if there is only one decimal place, always you have only 1 0 in the denominator, that means 10. So how can we express? It can be easily written as 8 over 10. One decimal place means 1 0, so 10 is the denominator, 8 will come to the numerator. Second example, how many decimal places? 2 decimal places. So we know if you are having 2 decimal places, 2 zeros should be there in the denominator. So 2 zeros means 100, and then you can write the number as 23 in the numerator. Third example, how many decimal places? 3 decimal places. 3 decimal places means 3 zeros should be there in in the denominator. 3 zeros means that is 1000. Okay, then we can take the number like this. So it is easy. Last example, that is somewhat different. There you can, in the first 3 examples, always you had 0 point. But in the last example, you all can see a whole number is there, that is 1.423. So if you are having a whole number, what you have to do, take the whole number, that is 1, separately, 1. And take the decimal part separately. That means 1 plus 0.423. Once we add these two, you will get this answer. So we are going to separate the two parts. After that, take one down, and next thing is we are going to convert the decimal part into a fraction. We are going to convert this decimal part into a fraction. Where you have 3 decimal places. That means 3 zeros, 3 decimal places, 3 zeros, and numerator you will have 423. So how can we write? Now this is actually a mixed number. So you have to leave these types of answers as a mixed number. You have a whole number. Earlier examples you don't have any whole number. That's why it was kept as a fraction like this. But when you have numbers greater 1 or greater than 1, you have a whole number. Always you have to express it as a mixed number like this. 423 over 1000. Right. Now let's move to multiplication of decimal numbers by whole numbers. The decimal number by a whole number. Right. In this, it is very easy. So this is the rule. Neglect the decimal point. When you are multiplying, neglect the decimal point and just multiply. Like you normally multiply the numbers. Neglect the decimal point. Here the decimal point is at here, right? 0.4. So neglect the decimal point means what you have here. 4 times 3. So 4 times 3, what's the answer? That is 12. At first we neglect the decimal point and just multiply. But at the end, at the final answer, you have to consider the decimal point again. That means at the end, count the decimal places. After the decimal point, there is only one decimal place. One value after the decimal point. If you have only one value, one decimal place, you have to come back one place from the end. Now there is no any decimal point in the answer, but you have to assume that it is at the end. So come back one place. Therefore, you have to make one move in the answer. That means 1.2. One move, one decimal, one move. Okay. Next one, same manner we can do, neglect the decimal point. So you can take it as 11. 11 into 5. So 11 times 5 we know that is 55. 11 times 5 it is 55. How many decimal places? One decimal place. So you have to consider from the end one place. Come forward. So what will be the answer? 5.5 will be the final answer. So here 1.2 is the final answer. Here 5.5 is the final answer. Right. Next, same way we can multiply. Neglect the decimal point and just multiply. 5 times 3. 15 and 1 remaining. 5 times 3 again 50 plus 1 will give you 60, which means final answer is 165. That means 55 times 3. If you multiply 55 by 3, you will have 165. Now count the decimal places. 1, 2, 3. After the point there are 3 places. So you have to come back. 3 moves should be taken from the end. 1, 2, 3. So there's no number next to this. So what you have to do? Keep the point and put a 0. If you don't have any number, you have to consider zeros. So this will be the answer, 0.165. So next number is a little bit large. So I'm going to multiply it separately and show you how to do that. So neglect the decimal point. You can consider this as 1357 is multiplied by 41. So let's multiply. First we are going to multiply by 1. 1 times 7, 7. 1 times 5, 5. 1 times 3, 3. 1 times 1, 1. So you all can see I didn't consider the decimal when I am multiplying. Next, 7 times 4, 28. 2 remaining. 4 times 5, 20. 20 plus 2, 22. Again 2 remaining. 4 times 3, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. Again 1 remaining. 4 times 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. Next step is to add. So let's add 7. 8 plus 5, 13. 1 remaining. Here 6, 5, 5. So you all can see here the answer is 55,637. But this is not the final answer because we neglect the decimal point and just multiply. But in the final answer, we have to consider the point again. So count how many places. There are 3 places. That means from the corner, from the end, you have to take 3 moves like this and stop from that point. Keep the decimal point there. So answer is 55.637. So it is very easy. Just neglect the decimal point and do the normal multiplication. Final answer, you have to consider the decimal places and then put the decimal point according to that. Next, moving to multiplication of decimals by powers of 10. Now earlier also we did the same thing, but here I am going to show you all a very easy method. When you are multiplying a number by the power of 10, which means 10, 100, 1000. So here the easiest method is you have to count the number of zeros in the power of 10. Count the number of zeros in the power of 10. 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros. Likewise you have to count the zeros. And then if it is multiplication, this decimal point of the decimal number should be moved to the right side. The decimal point, the decimal number should be moved to the right side. But how many places? That is very important. You have to move the decimal point according to the number of zeros in the power of 10. According to the number of zeros. So let's see. Here you have 1 0. So what you have to do? 1 point will move to the right side from the initial point. So what will be the final answer? 47.4. 1 place moved. So same manner we can do this again multiplications. Here all are considering the multiplication symbol. So always the decimal point will move to the right side from the initial point. So here 1 0, therefore 1 place. So decimal point will be at here 0.79 is the final answer. Now here you have 2 zeros. Therefore you have to take 2 moves. So let's move. 1, 2. So no numbers at the end. So what's the final answer? 7 is the final answer. No numbers, so you have to stop. Point remains at here. So no need to represent the point like this at the end. Next again you have 2 zeros. Therefore you have to take 2 moves. Now look at this. When you are taking 2 moves, you don't have numbers here. 1 move, but you don't have any numbers to move. But you have to take another move because of you are having 2 zeros. So what is the next step that we have to do? So if you have values like this, what you have to do? You have to add a 0. If you don't have any numbers, add zeros while you are taking the moves. So 1, 2, 1 0 is added. Final answer is 120. So here 2 zeros, 2 moves. So like this 585.9. Next example, there you have 3 zeros. That means 3 moves should be taken. Again, like this example, you don't have any numbers, but what you have to do? You have to add zeros while you are moving. 1, 2, 3. You have to take 3 moves. For the rest of the numbers, you have to add zeros. So here the final answer will be 3700. Again, you have to take 3 moves here. Now you have enough numbers, so we can move it. No need to add zeros here. 1, 2, 3. So our answer will be 8073.2. 8073.2. Okay, last one. There you have 3 zeros. 3 moves should be taken. 1, 2, 3. So the final answer is 6005.1. 6005.1. So this is the multiplication of a decimal number by the power of 10. Let's move to the division. That is also very easy. So in multiplication, we move the decimal point to right side. So what will happen if it is division? If it is division, what you have to do? Always you have to move the decimal point to the left side from the initial point. So let's move. So here 1 0 and it is division. So what will happen? The decimal point will move to left. Now it's not to right side. Right side it is multiplication. Decimal if it is division, always to left of the decimal point. 1 0. 1 move should be taken to left. So what will be the answer? 27.1. Same way, 1 0. 1 move should be taken. Now here you don't have number. What you have to do? Point will remain here. 0.136. But you have to add 0 in front of the point. Third example. Division by 10. 1 0. 1 place should be moved to left. Okay, so here the answer is 0.0036. 0036. No number in front of the decimal point, so you have to add a 0. Fourth example, division by 100. So you have 2 zeros here. So how many moves should be taken? 2 moves should be taken from the initial point. 1, 2. So what will be the final answer? 0.589. Again, division by 100, 2 zeros, 2 places. Now here, 1, 2. Now you all can see no numbers in front of 3. But you are going to take moves. So what you have to do? Add zeros if you don't have any numbers. So 0.037. 037 in front, you have to add 0. Next, 3 zeros, 3 moves from the initial point to left. 1, 2, 3. So what's the final answer? 4.375. 4.375. And at the end you have 8. Right. Next, again 3 zeros. 3 moves should be taken. 1, 2, 3. So here 0.3568 is the answer. Last example, that is also division by 1000, where you have 3 zeros. Therefore, 3 moves should be taken from the initial point to left. So you all can see you should take 3 moves here. 1, 2, 3. So no numbers, you have to add zeros accordingly. So you can add a 0 here, another 0 there. So altogether, count the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 4 zeros in your final answer after the point. 4 zeros and 3, 2. So we'll recheck the answer like this. 3 zeros now. So we will recheck the answer that it's correct. 3 moves. If it is multiplication, we are going to move to right. 1, 2, 3. I'll show you in another color like this. If it is multiplication, 1, 2, 3, and your point will be at there. So your answer is correct. So you all can recheck your answer like that with multiplication and division, both rows. Okay. So here the answer is 0.000032 is the final answer. So that is division. It is division. Move the point to the left side. Right. Let's move to the last part of our lesson, that is dividing a decimal number by a whole number. Earlier we multiplied decimals. Now we are going to divide. So that is also like the normal division that you do. So this can be done like this. 84.6. 84.6. You are going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. So like normal division, you all can divide. But once you move to the number after the point, you have to indicate the decimal point. So let's divide. So 4 times 2, you will have 8. Here remain the 0. Take 4 down. For 4, you have 2 times 2, 4. Remain the 0. Now you are moving to 6. But when you are taking 6, you can see a point is there. So you have to represent the point next before starting with this number after the point. So take 6 down. For 6, you have 3 times 2, 6. Remain the 0. So what's the answer? 42.3. So it's very easy, just like normal division, you all can divide. But only thing that you have to keep it in your mind is to indicate the decimal point just right after the last, just below, before the first decimal place, that is here. Right. Second example. 98.58 dividing by 6. So same way we can divide. Okay. 6 times 1, 6. Remainder here 3. So 38. How many 6s? 6 times 6, 36. Here remainder 2. Now we are going to take this 5 down. That means the first decimal place. So when you are moving to the first decimal place, indicate the point here. Okay, then take 5 down. The 25, 4. 6 times 4, 24. Here remainder 1, take it down. So 18, you have 3. 6 times 3, 18. Remainder 0. So here the answer is 16.43. Right. Here also some division part. You have a decimal and a whole number. So let's divide it. 0.75735 divided by 7. Here you have 8.04 divided by 8. So let's divide. Okay, so you all can see the first number is 0. So for 0 there are no any 7s. So you have to place 0. No 7s inside 0. 7 times 0, 0. And then you are going to start with the first decimal place. Right? Then once you are moving to the first decimal place, you have to place the decimal point in the answer. 7. For 7 you have 1. So here 0. For the 35, you can directly check the 35. For 35 you have 5. 7 times 5, that is 35. Okay? Right. Next example, that is 8.04 divided by 8. 8 times 1, 8. Here remains 0. Before moving to this first decimal, place the decimal point in the answer and take 0 for 0 also. It is 0. And take 4 down. 4. Right. Now what will happen here? Now that is the end. No any other numbers after 4. So you can't divide. But after the decimal point, you all can take zeros. Now here there is a remainder, but here there is no any remainder, the 0. But here you all can see we can't divide, we can't see any 8s inside this. So what you have to do? You can take zeros after the decimal point. If there is a remainder, you can add a remainder. After the decimal point, you can take zeros if you want. Okay, so we can take a 0. We can take the zeros and we are going to check for 40. So for 4, we don't have any 8s. 8 times 0, that is 0. And then, now we are going to check for 40. So for 40, that is 8 times 5, 40, remainder 0. So what is important here is, if you have a remainder, if you can't divide without a remainder, you can take zeros from the corner and then divide until you get 0 as the remainder. So final answer is 1.005. Okay children, so that's the end of our decimals lesson. So let's meet with another new lesson in a new video. Thank you.